right, Oaks, welcome back to Straight Line Podcast. And today I've got Ricky Farrar with me. He is the team manager, coordinator from what is the team is known as Luso
Africa, yeah.
Luso Africa?
Luso Africa.
Okay, but yeah, we're going to go into a little bit more about who the team is, what the sponsors are, and what the objectives are of the team. They're known as one of the teams that you kind of see in the race, getting stuck in, get a big win every now and then. But yeah, let's find out a little bit more about the team. Ricky, welcome to the show. Glad you can
Good afternoon.
Give us some information here on the team. Like, we've been chatting a little bit before about the team, the riders, the history of the team. I think that a lot of people don't know exactly what the team is and what the team belongs to. So you said something about Luso Africa. Tell us more. What is that?
So Luso Africa is a sport culture club.
Yeah.
Okay, or Portuguese club, mostly known to where they've got football, they've got a restaurant inside in German. It's actually like a club. It's got their stadium, small stadium where the soccer guys are playing football. They've got scouts club there.
Okay.
They've got a bar, restaurant, and a big hall for pretty much a social club.
So it sounds like it's a community cultural club that caters for your sports, and with a name like Luso, it's a Portuguese
cultural sports club.
Okay,
pretty much what it is. Yeah.
So everyone to know, it's Luso Africa is the main.
Is the main mother club, they call it. Yeah.
Is the mother club, and then from there you've got the cycling teams, you've got a professional racing team,
and the social cycling side.
Okay.
And then they've also got, like I mentioned, is the scouts that they also handle for the kids. But that's pretty much it.
Okay, so then the scouts and the football is lacquer, but quite frankly, we're not too concerned about that. The professional racing team, ACDC. How does ACDC fit into this whole team?
So they are the main sponsors to the club.
And ACDC, if memory serves me correctly, they're electrical wholesalers throughout. It's South Africa now.
So let's go. ACD Dynamics.
Yes.
They are the distributors of, obviously, electrical parts.
Yeah.
They're big into solar now. They've obviously tapped into that section, but ACDC Dynamics is their distributors.
Yeah.
Then they've got, which they sponsor now, is the Pro Side, what we know as the Pro Side.
Yeah.
Then you get ACDC Express.
Yeah.
They our sponsors to the social club riders.
Okay.
So that's why you'll see the Pro Sides more on the blue kit.
Yes.
And the social guys are now black and red.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's how we just pretty much split the two together, and funding comes from ACD Express.
Okay.
And the Pro Side gets from ACD Dynamics.
Okay, because we live here in the East Rand, and I've often seen the ACDC Express, the club rides going on, and from what I understand, the pro team also do a couple of rides.
We join them just to help them through and give them some support. Yeah.
So the main sponsor is ACDC. And then tell me, like, the other sponsors you got on the team, 32GI.
Yeah, they've been 2 years running with us.
Yeah.
This is their second year. Pretty much give us a budget that we can work with, and we filter that through to the riders.
Yeah.
And then we get massive discounts from them.
Yeah. And also, like, Dave and his team, they've also been kind of sponsored.
At the crits. And not only the crits. I mean, I see running
all over the place.
All over the show, yeah.
I see now recently the main sponsoring sponsor for the Comrades. So
on the big running side.
Yeah, so 32 jars all over the place. Good product, good people.
I think Mark that also pushes a lot of their products.
Yeah.
I think he's also pretty much involved.
And then another socks. I see all the social posts you guys put up. All the colourful socks.
Yes, that's a second year running. Socks, we ambassadors now for them.
Yeah.
So they give us socks. We advertise for them. Yeah, it's pretty much a fun thing. Yeah.
Tell me the socks brand. Where are they up here in Joburg?
They're up in Joburg. They're in Pretoria side.
Okay.
It's their warehouse. I see they've moved more towards into a plot that they moved from Pretoria Centurion. I think they still got their factory shop in Centurion, but they've moved. Or is it Centurion or
so
more Pretoria side? And the fact
So,
is,
so
just
they support the
moves.
Bulls, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I see some of the pool socks, yeah. So they'll be there. Yeah, we get all the colourful socks every 3-4 months.
Okay.
They send us socks, we
Yeah,
advertise for them.
that's cool. Because
So that's why you'll never see us running with a specific colour, team
Yeah.
colour. You know, everyone will use the same socks at races,
okay.
and it's all colourful.
That's
All
cool.
looks like it, yeah.
And then I see you guys got some pretty cool sunnies. 100%, huh?
100% also, second year running with them.
Okay.
So
100%. That's the brand that Peter Sagan was. Does he still use the glasses? I mean, I know from.
Yeah, still wears glasses. Yeah, he
So
still wears.
I think he's the kind of guy that he kind of put 100% on the map, because before that it was the Oakleys, Oakleys, and then he went across this to 100%. Like, what's this? And then he's made it what it is.
Yeah. So they've also this year they've given us, I think, their limited edition. Belgium. The Belgian green ones, yeah, that's pretty good with the gold lens on it. That's pretty cool. They've given us a limited edition for this year. So that was pretty cool.
Then also, man, you got Fred Steins.
That's from J&J. They've come on board. Also, second year running, very much giving us massive discounts on tires. You know, it does help a lot to the team riders, especially with the smaller guys like we are. We can't, give riders, at least give them massive discounts. You know, on the tires.
Because if you've got 5 to 6 guys in a team and you need to buy tires every few months, that adds up quickly.
Very much, yeah. So they've kitted out the riders, you know, as we started, they kitted out the riders, and then going forward, you get massive discounts from them.
Okay.
You know, what they pay in basically. Okay. So they help us with that.
Then I made a note here while we were talking. I think that this would be a cool sponsor
that's why it's us.
For the guys, Fat Cake City.
Fat Cake City, yeah.
For the guys who aren't familiar with their brands up here in Johannesburg and Pretoria.
They've got, I think about 180 stores countrywide.
Jeez,
that's massive.
So
and all they sell is Fat Cake Cities for the fat oaks.
and the oaks trying to grow into fat oaks.
Yeah, they've, you know, with a smaller team, I needed to get some more funding into the budget. So they've come on board.
Oh, that's cool.
Nothing expected. I'll put him on the kit, all happy with it. So I'll just eat more fat cakes.
Nothing wrong with that. Now let's go on to the riders that you have in the team here. First rider I want to talk about, he's unfortunately had a bad year last year. A lot of bad crashes and accidents. Josh van Beek.
Yeah, end of 22.
Yes.
So let's go back. 22 he started. Was it 22, eh? He started riding for us. Well, he actually came on board just before 94.7.
Yes.
It wasn't, we're a small team, we're an underdog team. Nothing expected from us. Spoke to him. I knew he was a good rider. I mean, he's a brilliant sprinter, best on the track.
Yeah, very good.
Just before 94.7, I gave him a kit. I said, please ride for me. 94 was a big thing for me.
And didn't you run like 5th or 6th?
He came 5th on the sprint.
Yeah, I remember. In the sprint he was up there.
And that's 5th place for me. It was, for him, it was the win. But for me, it was great. I mean, it was the best thing we've done on the road race. And then carried on with 23. Towards the, I think it was Gauteng Champs.
No, it was it?
Was it?
The Joburg Grand Prix.
Joburg Grand Prix in December, mid-December. Massive crash. Just before
on the track,
him and David Marie went together. Both out of, what's his Cape Town one?
About the August or the Cape Town Cycle Tour?
No, before that, the 26th of December. What's
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day on the track.
It was big for them, and both of them are out. Okay, so that was massive crash. 3 months recovery.
Yeah.
Still kept him on the team. Great rider. Boom. First ride back, he wins the skim right for South.
Yeah, I remember that day.
That was a massive, unexpected from the underdogs. And so for that, on the sprint, I think Emil from, was it for Office Crew that time, came second at that. And that was quite a close sprint. But straight after that, he moves overseas. Crashes just before Worlds.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for him. In Italy, I think it was,
in Firenze.
And that was him until now.
But you said in Cape Town.
Cape Town goes for a
ride. He's wrecked his knee. So, Josh said
just before 94,
a bit of a cuck period now. He actually was here on the show a week or two ago.
Yeah.
He said it's a good couple of months rehab to get his knee right. So yeah, I mean, he's on the team, and I mean, I think when Josh comes back and he wants to start racing again, he's going to make an impact somewhere.
So I think his fitness level when he comes back, I think his mindset is just right.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't. I mean, I think any rider crashing as much time as he has, I would stop cycling.
Yeah, cycling. It's not an easy.
But it's in your blood.
Yeah.
You're gonna come back. Yeah.
Now, as I'm writing, I'm looking here. This is definitely you've got the teams of the Joshuas. You've got Josh van Wyk, Josh Dyke, and Josh Rieters. So
Josh side, yeah.
Josh Dyke, yeah.
Sure.
Good rider.
Good rider. Has been riding for also 2 years with us. Came from a juniors, came through the ranks. Probably one of the best now on the track.
Yeah.
Can sprint. So yeah, he's pretty much an all-rounder when he puts his mindset to it.
Yeah,
you know, he's either sometimes he gets a brain fart.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, like, come on, Josh, what's wrong? Then out of the blue, he's back into the game and he's in the break. I mean, this kid right for sight last year, I couldn't believe it. He actually pukes off the back. He comes to the car and he says he's not feeling well.
Yeah.
So what does he want to do? And he starts puking. And then out of the blue, he just attacks into the peloton, takes it off the front, and he's in the brake.
Yeah.
And he sits to the brake almost to the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he gets a brain fart now and then. But if he's in there, I mean, I never thought he's starting to climb well.
Yeah.
He can actually sit and he climbs well. I never thought he would be a climber. For someone that can sprint and climb, not every day you get a rider like that.
And Josh is also a big win. A big win is imminent with him. He's always there. He's always there, and because of his strong track background, when you take him to line, somewhere he's going to do something.
He's going to do something, and it's coming. I think it's coming.
Yeah.
I really. I mean, I thought Rustenburg was the one. When we were at Rustenburg last year.
Yeah.
I mean, to stay up with Kent, Main, Gustav, Blaine,
yeah,
it was him.
Yeah.
Okay, that obviously Kent, Main and Gustav were playing the game there. And he sat on those big climbs. Okay, those loops were hard. No, and all the climbers were off. There's a little Dyke, he's still sitting in there with the last four. Came fourth place, but I think it just give the man a bell there.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's definitely going to win something. Then
the
other Josh I got on here, Josh
Rieters. Comes from Office Guru.
Yeah.
Obviously, pity what happened.
Durban boy, yeah?
Durban boy, yeah. So he's up here for cycling. I mean, that's all he's doing is cycling. So he came, his first race was SA Champs.
Yeah.
Came out of recovery. So he wasn't feeling too well, but he still raced. And I think he finished. He didn't finish. I think he DNF'd. It lasted 4 laps before he called it quits.
Yeah.
And then Monte Cassino.
Yeah.
So Monte Cassino, he was pretty much in the race.
I remember
in the peloton.
At the end of last year with the Eastside Crits, I had that draw for those Favero power pedals. And then I did the live draw, and you're mixing the numbers, pick it out. Josh Rieters, well done. So I phoned him and said, Josh, you've won yourself power pedals. I was happy. And when he came to pick him up, he was telling me that his power meter and his crank had bombed out like 2 weeks before that.
Oh, that's for luck.
He was like, oh shit, I'm not going to get the power meter done. And then how's this? Ironically, he was the last guy to enter on the last day at the last event. He just said,
last minute.
Literally last minute. Natasha was packing up and she said, oh, let me take a ticket. Eh? So sometimes you're very lucky.
Yeah, I think he's an all-rounder. I think he can do well if I think he's in his form. So, I mean, I think he's a good worker at Office Guru when he was there.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes with him this year, yeah.
The bits that I've seen of him and my interactions with him, he seems like a bit of he will be like a calming factor amongst the team. Seems very calm. He doesn't
speak much,
and doesn't get too worked up by something,
No, the chill guys. Yeah.
and then the team you don't want guys go crazy in the team. You need the guy to be calm.
To calm now, and everyone's pretty much.
Oh, he seems to have had that. And then another rider I've got here, Jared Hayes.
New guy, just joined, literally maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Called him up. I was looking for an extra rider, especially when I've noticed, especially like SAs, you've got your juniors or separate. So I've got one junior.
Yeah.
Then I'm riding with 5 riders. Obviously, Josh is out. Or Josh was my 5th rider. I didn't have a 6th. I've always kept that spot open.
Yeah.
Just in case you see someone and you can at least fill the gap. They become a bit short, and I look at the number and I go, what happens if one Okie sick? So I need to get someone on. Speak to 1 or 2 guys. His name came up.
Yeah.
So he did very well. He can sprint.
He's good.
Good sprinter. I think he'll be pretty much given the opportunity. I think he's going to be there. Blue Diamond, that's where we all picked him up.
Yeah.
He wore the sprinter's jersey. Yeah.
And then last year at the East Side Crits, he started coming to a few. And I always noticed the guy taking, you see one race, the guy
never know
a few laps, so you notice it and you go, okay. You see it again and you go, So he does it again. And then in some of the races where we had the finish at the bottom, you start watching the guy more and more. You're like, hey, this guy's always in the front. He's always in the brakes. If a split goes, he's trying to get across to it. So I think a unknown rider, an unrated rider. But I think if you've been watching, he's a good rider.
Monte Cassino in the break, sat out there all the way through to the finish. Pretty much before the last turn. The last turn, the Mauritian guy attacked just before the turn. He followed. And I think it burned him a bit. And he came off the back, to finish. I think he finished, 5th, at Monte.
5th is a decent result.
Yeah, and his first race back, he's been off. Also, fair enough, been sick. That was his first race back. Monte Cassino, he's been in recovery as well. So
he's definitely
he's going to be one to watch.
I think definitely.
Especially through the type of races we have here in Gauteng.
We were talking about it earlier that I think going forward into 2024, a team like TEG, they must be the favourites to win most of the races.
To me, I don't see, come on, if you're taking them on, I don't see any other team that's got the sprinters they do to finish.
Well, if Emil can win a race,
you're racing against 2 oaks. You're sprinting against 2 riders that can sprint. Lane's good.
And then with Sunday coming up, the Rightful Sight, it's going to be a big drag race down the bottom of the hill. We've got Emil and Blaine working on the down.
I don't know the finish, but last year's finish was a straight in downhill. They changed it. It used to go into the left turn.
Yeah.
So for left turn rider, that's why I always favourite Josh for that, is because from the tracks, guys.
Yeah.
They've got more technical experience. To take that turn at that speed, they're not scared.
Yeah.
They can make their own space. So now I think it's still going to be a finish. I'm sure they're going to keep the same finish on a downhill. So that's going to be interesting. And I think it'll be a bunch sprint again. I don't see it.
That route is almost always a bunch sprint. On occasion, you do get a break that goes away. And then from that break, sometimes a guy will break away by himself. But predominantly over the last couple of years, it's always been bunch sprints going into that.
And actually last year, there was no wind. And usually out there, it does blow. If you go ride any practice rides or just a social ride, you're going to get wind there. And last year, it was flat. Yeah. So it's going to be...
I think another good team for Sunday is Aluwani.
You take Nolan to... Doesn't matter how old he is.
If you look what Reynard did at SA Champs, Batty was up there.
Batty was there.
And it comes down to a straight sprint and a drag race. You've got a guy like Nolan leading you out. Batty, they're a good team. They're a good local team.
Can't take Nolan out there.
Never.
I don't know, how old is he? Maybe 30 years? That's been his...
Nolan's...
Sorry, Nolan.
If I'm 44, Nolan must be
38?
Slightly north of 35.
35?
Nolan? 35, 36, 34? Let us know.
I think he can still, at that age, and take on the under 23s into a sprint.
100%. He's
I think if you want to sit on someone's wheel, that's the first wheel I would sit on before anyone. If he's still there, that's the wheel that I'll be sitting on.
sure.
So
Then on to the next two riders. The last two riders here that I made note of. Two brothers, Divan and
Stian
Landsberg.
Stian, the only junior we have.
Yeah.
He's been pretty much in the podium since I took them on end of last year. So they came. So to give you a small background is, remember I used to, myself and Marcello, we used to have team margin just for juniors, look after kids that came through the ranks and feed them through to other teams because we were just there to look after the lighties, look after wheels, have some structure going for youngsters. They joined, we had maybe 6-7 riders used to fill in the gap, and I've always left them in there. Okay, never looked at them. They were just kids for me.
Yeah.
And then when I moved away from margin and got the opportunity when Frank left ACDC or Luso, been given an opportunity to look after, to manage the team, then it was actually ironic is I could build my own team out of it. I didn't have any riders. The only rider left was Joost in that team, and he moved on. So I rebuilt this whole team that I had and kept margin because they were still juniors. And it was his first year junior. Divan was under 20, I think he was under 23 or was last year junior. And then towards the end of last year, you know, can I join that team? And they were the only two riders I had in. So I said, you know what, just come on board. I can't leave two riders middle of nowhere. So they came on board, sure. And they excelled there. You know, the junior, old Stian, can climb. I mean, he's a tall guy, skinny. I said, not much of a sprint. I think he can sprint for maybe that 5-6 seconds. Okay. But he's been on the podium pretty much almost every single race that he's essays, he finished at 11th, popped. I think going in, I wasn't at the race. From what I heard, it was either in Suikerbos, dropped to the back, puked his lungs out. They actually called the medics, from what I heard. He couldn't stop puking. So he got helped, got back on his bike, and he chased everything back down, finished 11th overall. For me, just to finish that race, it wasn't easy in that heat. And then every other race, Monte Cassino finished third on the sprint. It was a bunch with elite riders under 23, and he managed to get a third spot. So he's doing well for us, pretty much.
And his brother
Divan started varsity, good also all-rounder. Funny enough, at SAs, out of the blue, just became a domestic. Started bringing bottles. He was the only guy coming for bottles. Okay, and he took it on his own. That's what the thing about our team is. We're pretty much, I would say, structured, semi-structured. We don't work for one oak. Oaks are there to have fun. You know, we don't ride for a rider. Okay, we don't pop for any rider. Okay, unless we see there's a sprint out. You know, we can sprint who's going to be in the line. But then he just out of the blue started coming out for bottles. Nowadays, you sit behind the conversation. So he was coming behind to the car, get bottles, 3-4 bottles, going back up. Every second round, he was back in the car again, pulling bottles and getting food for the guys. And you burn. I mean, you know, it's hard to go up and down. And obviously, going into Suikerbos, he popped off. And it was expected. That oak is going up and down. It was expected. Still finished. He didn't give up. Didn't turn around at the beginning of Suikerbos when everyone else went in. He didn't sit up. He carried on finishing the race. And he did it. Good rider. I also put him in a category of probably a sprinter. He can sprint a bit. A bit of a all-rounder.
If I look at his physique, I think like a powerful
rider. Can probably sprint.
I think he builds a bit of an engine. He can be there during the race. I think he's got the physical attributes to become a sprinter.
So I think he's a good all-rounder.
Then another note I made here, what would be the goals of the team this year? When I say goals, you can't say, we want to have win so many races, so many podiums.
I'll tell you now, our goal, and Doc, podium every track race he does. He's probably one of the favorites. So I think, do we dominate that area? I think we do. I think we can.
Yeah, sure.
And I think we've got the riders that can do it. I think that's his. What are his main? I think his main focus was track when he was with you. You saw training.
I've been training Josh for a couple of years now. The focus is track, but also building on.
For times, I remember with a bit of it on the roadside, and he's been on the track. I think every race he's been on the podium.
Yeah, no, he's
okay.
Sure,
and if
up there.
Josh decides to come back into track race, the Van Wyk, and then I think I've pretty much got the track covered.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So, I mean, going back to Josh, I think he's won every, Van Wyk. I think he's become last year, he was SA champ for every single category.
Could be.
I think the only one he didn't get, which is Jersey was waiting, was the Omnium.
Yes, that was.
That's before his crash. That's why he didn't come through.
Yeah, because I remember to come back here, then go back. You'd rather want to just stay in Europe.
No, he was supposed to come back. Yeah. I think it was to come back. I think it just happened just before the crash. And I think that was the last one he needed. He would have had every single jersey in the. I could be mistaken, but I think he had won every single thing for SA champ. But then, track, obviously dark. No pressure. That's his.
That's his thing.
That's his thing. With the underdogs, I think our main goal would be to do 1 or 2 upsets.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think we've got a team to go into a sprint or to be in the break and do an upset.
Well, you're talking along those lines, and I think a lot of people will agree with what I'm going to say now. That if you are a top level junior in South Africa, and you're placing the podium at national championships, and you make selection to go to junior worlds, and you do spend a bit of an extended time anywhere in Europe racing, my recommendation, and I would suggest, is that don't come back and then jump on go to one of the bigger road teams.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, I've had 1 or 2 discussions with riders. I mean, in the short time that I've been into cycling and seen from my son, that's how I started with cycling. And I've had a junior SA title ride for me.
Yeah.
Old Jason. And speaking to the lighties and not just from me, but also from known people in the industry. Personally, I think it's the worst thing.
Sure.
Okay, for a youngster to come out of what they are just riding free, there's no, you just want to ride your race.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing even with Stian. What's the goal for the team? No. You're a junior, you ride your race. You look after, you got your own race to ride.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what's happening with under 23s or elites.
Yeah.
Your race is juniors. And that's what you've got to concentrate on. And they're freely to race. I mean, you ride the way you want to ride. There's no structure. There's no, you have to do this all the time. So,
which I think is a good thing, because if you do go and ride on one of the bigger teams with pressure and structure, you need to fall into the structure in order for the team to win.
So let's go back. Why would you want to join a bigger side? Because they're going to get a free bike. Okay. They're going to get free tours. I get promised this, I get promised that. Very difficult to promise things.
Yeah.
From a smaller, because you ride your own bike. You know what? You got to look after your own equipment before you get something for free.
Yeah. And then also, like, when you're riding in a smaller team, like with what I say smaller teams, you don't have as much pressure like that. So you pretty much got almost free reign to go to race.
Free rides.
You can ride your own race. It's not a case of you have to backpedal and commit and try and get this other person across the road, which is going to compromise your result. So I think it's better for youngsters.
They need to build that engine. Can they sprint? Can they climb? They're great riders, but they haven't got the engine. They need to build their engine before they can ride for the bigger sides. Because once you go to a bigger side, you're going to be burning to ride for a rider.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's in any given team. You've always got a main rider. You know what? You sit in front until you pop. I think if it's for 20 Ks, you've done your job. But what has that lighty learned in 20 Ks? How to puke.
And often it's happened for decades. A rider finds himself in that position, the belief goes, the mental state goes,
But then,
and they don't have that drive and desire to fight for the win. They just kind of think that, okay, well, this is me. I've got to work for the first couple of Ks, and when I get dropped,
and then after that same year, oh, you've done nothing. Sorry, just.
Yeah, so it's a very fine line. Like youngsters, look for a team where you'll have free reign to try and pursue your goals, make the national team to go to the tours abroad. So how do you do that? You've got to perform in the local races. If you ride for a bigger team where there are bigger goals than yours, you're going to have to fall in line with what the team wants.
And not what you want, yeah.
And not what you want. So if you've got your own free reign, you can go for that win. You can push for that attack. You know, of course,
and I even take the bigger teams. Office Guru did it. They had a team.
Yeah.
Elite under 23 team. When they all went through the ranks, what did Jeremy do? Fell back, restarted.
Yeah.
Get all the juniors again, build up a team, and guess what he's done now? We are those riders now. They're with a big team. You got Neil, you got Oaks doing very well now. Okay, because he started them from a team. And the bigger teams, I think they should actually support the juniors. You know, bring him through the ranks. Put him in your team, keep him as a junior. Okay. Let him ride because they will excel, I think, well.
Yeah.
You know, to pick and choose riders and let them go just as they please. But that's how bigger teams are. You know, you got to perform. If you don't perform, you're off the back.
I think especially for a lot of the youngsters that are coming through, they've got high ambitions of wanting to be in the Tour de France and riding the big races in the world. So how do you go about doing that? You've got to move up the international ranks. Winning the Sleepy River, whatever race, that is absolutely zero. Nothing. We had a rider last year that we were trying to help and get on a ride in a team in Spain. But this youngster hadn't done anything in South Africa.
There's nothing for his profile. What do you give it? Yeah.
You know, a national title and a national podium, you know, it's nice, but it doesn't mean anything. So
your big teams, mean nothing overseas. I don't care who you ride for. When you go overseas, you know, you get the bigger riders. 100%. They are the big fish in a small tank.
Yeah,
that's what it is. You dominate that space.
Yeah.
Okay, and you win everything. You move overseas. Now you're a small fish in a big tank. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's very, very important that there are teams like what the structure you're running now, that there is that platform for the riders to make that transition from junior to international. You know, there is that platform for you to grow and not just fit into a shoebox. Yeah, you can fit into or grow into
something bigger.
All right, cool. Well, Ricky, thanks for coming through. Thanks for chatting.
100%.
Thanks for the insight, and hopefully you guys know now it's Luso Africa is the main club, is the main organization. Then the cycling team that feed it from there. Anyway, guys, catch you later. Cheers.